dismissed. The spring election is Tuesday. Cleanup underway this morning after strong storms moved through southeast Wisconsin. Kenosha County appears to be among the hardest hit areas. According to We Energy's more than 6,000 customers without power, and as of this morning, around 2,100 residents still in the dark, highest number in the region. With another round of storms expected, residents being urged to stay alert. Devil's Lake State Park is getting bigger.
The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources has finalized a deal to add 100 acres of protected land to the park. Now, through the Knowles Nelson Stewardship Program, the DNR has officially acquired the land and will open it to the public. State officials say the expansion will provide even more access to scenic views, hiking trails, and outdoor recreation. Devil's Lake remains Wisconsin's most popular state park, drawing nearly 2.3 million visitors in 2025. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
News about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Markets are closed today for Good Friday. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:04.
We know for small business advertisers, every dollar counts. And that's why you hear our advertisers over and over on this station as well as every other Milwaukee radio station. Because the power of repetition is real. Go to the Our Clients page of Anderson-Smith.com and see just how many you're familiar with. And check out their real advertising success stories. You'll learn why our clients stay with us for years and years. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results. We know you work hard to make your small business the best it can be. And we understand you deserve to have your advertising work as hard as you do. That's why we focus on only the most efficient ways to assure your ad message makes the most impact it possibly can. With millions of dollars in annual billing and dozens of satisfied clients, Anderson Smith has the leverage and know-how to amplify your advertising. Go to Anderson-Smith.com, email me, and I'll call you in short order. Because it's time we grow your business.
It's Easter weekend, a special family holiday. I love this time of year. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Take your family to the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club for a free dinner. The Good Friday haddock fish fry is all you care to eat and one of the best. All other dinners tonight through Sunday are buy one, get a second dinner free. Desserts, buy one, get one free. Great ice cream drinks, buy one, get one free. The popular pan-fried walleye, twin lobster tails, the mixed grill of a filet, shrimp, and scallops, your favorite steak, any entree, buy one, get one free, even on Easter weekend. That's amazing. Relax with a delicious old-fashioned. Choose from 20 bourbons, 100 wines. The Old World Bar is fantastic. 8 unique dining rooms. The Fox and Hounds truly is a one-of-a-kind gem. Celebrate Easter with your family at the Fox and Hounds Supper Club tonight through Sunday. Half your dinners are free. Just off Highway 167 near Holy Hill. Tables are open. Google, call, and reserve your free dinner today. Happy Easter.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers on the road for the first time this season. Milwaukee will face off with the Royals tonight. Milwaukee enters the series with a 5-1 record. Bucks will be back on their home court. Milwaukee will face off with the Celtics. The Bucks have lost 2 of their last 3 meetings with Boston this season. Milwaukee enters the matchup at 30-46 on the season. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver. Traffic had a couple of crashes. That one had blocked the right shoulder. It has been cleared off. I-94 east, about a quarter mile beyond the ramp from Moreland Road, but there may still be some slowing in that area. The right lane had a disabled vehicle in it on I-94 north, about a quarter of a mile beyond the ramp from Wisconsin Highway 119. That also has been cleared. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Mostly cloudy, chance for afternoon showers and storms today. High 50. Showers and storms likely overnight with a low 37. Rain likely tomorrow morning. High Saturday 56. Cloudy and 50 on Easter Sunday. Slight chance of showers Monday with a high 47 and sunny on Tuesday with a high of 40. That's the temperature in Madison, 40 degrees, 39 in Green Bay, 42 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
It's Friday, which means it's time for the Political Power Hour on Point Taken, where the left and right go head-to-head on this week's top stories and issues. Here are your hosts, Steve Scafidi and Kristen Bry.
Should we talk about the government?
Who better to talk government with our guy, Bill McCosher. I'm staring at wearing his red for Wisconsin. Get your mic on there. I can't even hear him.
Well,
there we go.
It could be my seasonal allergies too, but that might be in the grab bag.
I figured that's.
I figured.
Bill's layered in his expertise. You don't just drop everything like the moment I ask you. There's stuff to be found out later. That's like a tease, but like a deep tease. Good job, you. Now, do we have Joseph Pecky? We don't have. We don't have Joseph Pecky. He is on assignment somewhere. I think the middle.
But
of
we will have him. He's just not in studio.
Yeah. Again,
we're just figuring out the technical connection.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
We got a lot of sports gear.
Or Joe's had a lot of
I got
technical
my
issues
vintage
this week
Brewers
with this.
sweatshirt on.
Yeah, which
you would like to see it. You can
I would wear that
always
sweatshirt.
watch
I would
the
too.
YouTube.
I would buy that for my wife.
Yeah, can
and
you
she's
tell
very
Mike-
picky.
My husband bought this for me.
Can you tell him to get me an XL as soon
I
as
will
possible?
ask my husband
Yeah.
at break where he bought this from.
Yeah.
If you would like to see said sweatshirt, you can always watch the YouTube. Just text WATCH to
Absolutely.
855-616-1620.
First of all, Bill, how are you?
I'm well, other than the seasonal allergies. Yeah. The
What
older,
does that mean exactly? You just this
so I
time
never
of year?
had these as a kid, and I don't know the science behind it, if they'd come to you later in life. But, man, the older I get, the worse they seem to get and the longer they last.
Unrelated to what we're going to do today, do you think you're smarter now or just more experienced?
Smarter
Yeah. Really?
and more experienced. Yeah.
You're taking both.
I'm taking both.
Nice.
I'll take
That's a good question.
I know I asked it.
I'll take both for 1,000.
Because not everybody that gets older is smarter. Trust me.
True.
Yeah. And there's times when I'm mad at myself because I'm not as smart on something as I should be. That's frustrating. So I would answer
Well, you
for
guys
me.
help make me smarter. There,
I hope
on
so.
our text chains and even for this, you gotta be prepared. If you want it to be a good show, you got to be prepared.
I got a coffee
and
mug
having
that
guys
says-
like Todd
Well, and how are
last
you
week,
preparing? Because you're still off of Twitter.
it's not as easy. Let me say that. But and I will register a complaint with Elon Musk about that. But having Todd last week for the baseball fans out there was sort of like having one of the Negro brothers, right? Joe always throws high heat inside, coming hot. Todd had a little bit of the knuckleball last week, which was fun. So you got to prepare differently for
I
that.
loved his passion.
I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great. He's going to be on when you're in Vegas.
Okay.
Coming back. We're going to make him a cast
All
member.
3 days or 1 day?
I don't know. Do you want him here when with
Oh,
Joe?
we'll take him, sure.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
he'll come on Friday too.
That would
then.
be an interesting dynamic.
Yeah,
What if I have him on when you're off?
you should.
Oh, my God. That might be fun.
He is
It will
the
just
Swiss
be a
Army
compliment
knife.
fest. It'll just be the two of you telling each other how much you like each other.
I get praise enough, but Todd, he gives me
He
the...
lays it on.
Oh, my goodness. It's thick, but I appreciate it. Who
Yeah, I
doesn't?
hope Joe heard Todd's say something nice last week. It was a good one.
It was
It
a
was
good
a
one.
good one.
All right.
All right, let's get into the
Yeah,
news.
you take it because you were
Big
gone
news,
yesterday.
big news yesterday. As I was at my conference, news broke. Pam Bondi finally out, which you've been predicting for a while, Bill,
I have.
as far as the chance. I don't know what exactly. It didn't feel as defined as Kristi Noem, as
No.
far as like she testified, she threw Trump under the bus, and she was gone. This feels like a culmination of things, and I don't know. Do you have any insight on why yesterday it happened?
Not yet. And my son, who's in the administration, is home this weekend. I picked him up yesterday. He doesn't either. I would say it's not a surprise to me. I think the timing is a little bit surprising, but I always thought she was a low performer, and I've said that on this show many, many times. So where I may differ from sort of the traditional pundits at this point in time is who they should consider next. And Todd Blanche is the deputy. He's going to be the interim or acting attorney general. I think he's a good enough attorney and certainly loyal to Trump. But this is one where I would think outside the box. And I would go with Governor Ron DeSantis from Florida.
Interesting, yeah.
Because his term's not up until the end of the year. Do you
Doesn't
think
matter.
he would just leave because he's a lame duck right now? Anyways,
He could leave. The lieutenant governor becomes the governor there, and he's only got 7 months left in that position anyway. And this is a guy where I think for once, Trump and DeSantis's interests are aligned here. For Ron DeSantis to ever be a serious presidential candidate in the future, he has to overcome this perception that he's not MAGA enough, or he's not in with the Trump people. So he would need to do a very good job in that position. And Trump would be considering, well, can he be loyal? The guy said all these nasty things about me on the campaign. By the way, that's campaigns. I think this is the one time where their interests actually align, and bringing in somebody outside of the Trump inner circle could be good for this administration going forward. I think we all believe that the Congress is going to look different after the November elections, and it's time to prepare for what those last 2 years of the Trump administration would look like. And having somebody like DeSantis who can get confirmed, I think would be in Trump's interest.
He did name the airport after him, so I mean
He did.
West Palm Beach Airport. Now at some point it will be the Donald J. Trump Airport.
Right.
Besides DeSantis, anybody else? Because Todd Blanche is not going to be the person, I don't think.
I think he's going to have the interim tag. I don't think he
is active.
Get the job. Lee Zeldin's name comes
That name
up.
got tossed around a lot as well.
Yeah. I like Lee, and I think he's done a good job at EPA. I think he's one of the higher performers in this cabinet, and so that'd be somebody I'd consider. But I'd go outside the box and go big.
All right, we got Joe Zepecki on. We can hear you.
I hope so.
We can.
There we go.
Hey, all right. What did you make of Pam Bondi's dismissal yesterday?
It seems like the Trump administration is panicking a little bit. We know in the first term there was all kinds of personnel moves. Trump 2.0, that was not the go-to move until very recently. And all of a sudden, cabinet officials are dropping like flies. First Kristi Noem, now Pam Bondi. Since Pam Bondi, we're hearing about all kinds of firings, forced removals at the Pentagon. And so I think the Trump administration knows that they're in political trouble. On Bondi specifically, there's two main things I'm watching. The first is she's due to testify to James Comer's oversight hearing on the Epstein files. I think most Americans would agree, and I think Bill would agree with me, that should still happen.
Yeah, I agree with that.
She has information. And so that's thing one. The second thing is Todd Blanche can serve as acting attorney general for 210 days. If he puts Blanche forward on the 209th day, that clock resets. And he can literally have his personal attorney serve as the acting attorney general of the United States for more than a year. I don't think that's appropriate. I don't think that's what should happen, but we'll see.
What about Tulsi Gabbard? Do you think she's next?
Probably.
So there's speculation about that. She's been underwhelming, in my opinion, and maybe that's by design. I don't know. It wouldn't be for things she did. It wouldn't be for acts of commission. It would be for she doesn't feel like she's part of the team and she wants to move on. Would be my guess.
Got it.
Bad look that if she's the next, the three straight women are the.
Yeah, it doesn't help.
Not a great look.
Yeah.
Because Donald Trump has a lot of women who support him, and that's not a
Well,
good
and his
look.
top aide is Susie Wiles, and you know.
Well, I thought she's stepping back for her health stuff.
She's not.
No,
So she's not. She didn't step back at all. She just is dealing
she's
with
doing
this
her
and
chemo
working.
on Wednesday morning, and she's at the White House on Wednesday afternoon, which
Wow.
is stunning.
A lot of people say the breath of fresh air that needs to stay in the White House. Susie Wiles.
I think she's top shelf.
Yeah. Bill McCoshen, Joe, somewhere in the United States of America, I think. Kristen and Steve, point taken. Friday show. Thanks for being here. Quick break.
While you rest on the weekends, we work for you. Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. The latest in news,
We've got some major problems in this country, starting with the national debt.
entertainment,
The big thing that I see from the Brewers right now is just the amount of talent. Everyone has something that can contribute to winning games.
and more.
EVs really are going to be the future.
Every Sunday morning starting at 8 on WTMJ.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scavini. 70 years, 70 years. Geis, G-E-I-S, has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. Do not let a busted garage door. One of our teammates just had a problem with the garage door today. Or your opener. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI, LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget. I've seen them. I've been to their showroom. They'll even build custom doors, which are absolutely amazing. I've seen some of these things. To whatever your exact needs are, they will match that product to you. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to Geis Stores, GEISstores.com. You can also visit their showroom like I did in Brookfield. Easy ride from Milwaukee, featuring hundreds of doors and these cool state-of-the-art door openers, cameras, apps now. If you forget, did I close my garage door? You can just look on your app, see that, fix it. Custom design, all the cool things. Don't think twice. This is why they say it. Call Geis, G-E-I-S, GeisStores.com.
Hey fans, John Kuhn here, team captain of the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and there's a reason it's considered the Midwest premier place to bet on all your favorite sports. The full bar, awesome dining, 2,000 square foot screen, and nearly 100 betting kiosks makes for an unbeatable playbook. Bet above the rest, only at Potawatomi Sportsbook in Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
At Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage, our closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 less than the banks or the mortgage guys with the Rocket for exactly the same rate. Find out how much you can save at accunet.com.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or your local CVS.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com.
Hey, it's April in Wisconsin. If you're one of the over 700,000 people, you have 700,000 people getting your annual Wisconsin Retirement System statement. Annex has something for you. If you have questions about your statement or how your WRS account should work with your overall retirement plan, join our planning and WRS experts, including me. I'm not the expert. I'm just the moderator. But April 23rd, coming up, Understanding Your WRS Pension Potential. Webinar hosted by Annex Wealth Management's Director of Financial Planning, Eric Strom. And we'll walk through your statement with you, field any questions you have. This is a great one. I've done this one before. Lots of interest. We had hundreds of people sign up last time. It'll be just as busy, so don't wait. Thursday, April 23rd at 1 in the afternoon. Register at events.annexwealth.com.
All right. Moving on. Beyond the news of yesterday of Pam Bondi being out, there was also a national address Wednesday night from the president on the status of the Iran war. And I have some takeaways as far as what I thought, but I'm not the star here on Fridays. It's Bill and Joe. And so since Bill's in studio, we'll start with you as far as what...
Wait a minute. What are we? We're
your cast members. Your featured cast members. Just like the newbies on SNL, Joe and Bill.
FCM.
I love it.
All right. So what did you learn Wednesday that you didn't think or know before that, Bill?
He got a lot of compliments from people you would expect him to get compliments from on the right. Mine will be less complimentary, and here's why. I'm not the communications pro, although I play one on TV and the radio. Joe is, but this should have been more simple. He needed to say why we're there, how long we're going to be there, what the ultimate objective of the mission is. And then I think where he lacked was in the empathizing with how this is impacting Americans. So the fundamental question in politics, whether, when you're going to vote is, what's in it for me? Whether it's a referendum or a candidate election, that's the fundamental question that a candidate or a campaign has to answer for the voter. So that when they get in there, it's pretty clear. If I vote for X, this is what I'm going to get. If I vote for Y, that's what I'm going to get. I don't think he was clear enough about how these gas prices, how long they're going to last, why this is part of the deal, telling us that we don't need anybody else's oil, we have enough of our own. I think that is factually correct. So then why are gas prices up $1.20 or $1.30 from where they were 6 weeks ago? I mean, you got to connect those dots for people. You have to make it very simple. And this is one thing that Trump has done better than most politicians in my lifetime. He can connect with the average guy. I don't think he did that on Tuesday night. I just don't.
The political risk here from that speech, that address, using his own words, is he said the war would be over shortly, a few weeks.
Yeah.
And talk a little bit about the gas prices. If those numbers don't change to the positive, that's not a good look for this president when you said it out loud to the entire country on the other night.
He's essentially made that promise. And if, by the beginning of June, gas prices aren't back in the twos, whatever that is, whether it's $2.99 or $2.90, that's when people will start to say, okay, this is now heading in the right direction, because the stock market fluctuations, which have been slightly more measured than I expected them to be. There have been really good days, and there have been some really bad days. But on gas prices, they've been up now for 5 straight weeks, and there's no sign of relief. So he's going to have to show that this is coming back to normal. And I think by June.
All right, let's try to see if we can go to Joe. Joe, what were your thoughts on Wednesday night's address?
It was a waste of a presidential address. And this has never been Trump's best format. He needs an audience to play off of. But it goes back to the point I made earlier. I think they're spiraling a little bit out of control. If you're going to go out and play this card of the presidential address, have something to say. I think everybody assumed the news that we would be getting was either that the operation was going to end or he was going to make a case for a brief, ground operation or escalation. He did neither. He just stood up there and ranted and raved and told the American people that what they're living is not what's happening. And that's never a good position to be in politically. The other thing I'll just add, we've heard this morning that there is, our U.S. airmen down behind enemy lines. Iran shot down a fighter jet. When the President of the United States goes out on Wednesday and says we have total control of the skies, we have decimated their Navy, and the world keeps seeing things like, well, then how come oil isn't transiting the Strait of Hormuz? And how come you're losing, service members behind enemy lines? The president is in a pickle of his own making because he didn't have to do this. He chose this, he owns it, and he's trying to tell people one thing when everything they see here and is happening on the ground is different. So I'll just end with sending my thoughts and prayers to those service members and Godspeed to those who are now searching, doing search and rescue to try and get them out of there. Because if those folks fall into enemy hands, we are in a much more dangerous situation.
It gets real ugly real quick. Bill McCoshen, Joseph Pecky, Kristen, and Steve will take a quick break here. Lots more to talk about on our lineup with the guys on this Friday edition of Point Taken on 620 WTMJ.
Hey, I don't know about you, but I am ready for spring. I mean full-on spring. Flowers sprouting, seasonal businesses opening up. Join me for Experience Wisconsin. I'm John Mercure. This Saturday at 1 o'clock, we check in with places from all over the state. Really excited about this week's guest on Experience Wisconsin. Ish Nala, the iconic supper club, training up the staff right now. Will open shortly. We'll take you there. And also Beloit. We will visit Beloit. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays at 1, right here on 620 WTMJ. Won't you join us Saturdays at 1?
It's WTMJ Steve's Community for Milwaukee weight loss. Yes, I love talking about it because it was the secret for me to losing 45 pounds last year and a few more this year. At Milwaukee Weight Loss, they have the secret. Their doctor-developed, easy to follow, I did it, you can do it, weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally, safely, no drugs, no injections, no risk of serious side effects. You can lose it fast, naturally, safely, and none of the prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, none of that stuff, the gimmicky stuff as they call it. They reset your metabolism. That's why I can continue to keep the weight off and lose more weight. It's the program that worked for me, and I think it can work for you as well. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Schedule your free consultation. Many patients, 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two, pound a day, and for a limited time only. Spring special, $200 off. But you got to book your free consultation. You got to sign up with MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
You can search for the biggest bat selection, but I'm here to save you time because the best baseball and softball bat selection in the Midwest is right here at Burkhardt Sporting Goods. We stock just about every bat on the market from all the top manufacturers like Easton, DeMarini, Louisville Slugger, Marucci, and more, and sell them all at the guaranteed lowest prices. So get in here and try a few out in our indoor batting cages. There's no need to look any further because when it comes to bats, if you want it, we got it at Burkhardt Sporting Goods.
You can't beat Burkhardt.
When you run a team, you want great uniforms, and you know selling spiritware is vital. That's why Burkhardt Sporting Goods will create a free custom website for you to sell your families and players the coolest spiritwear from Nike and Under Armour, as well as the basics, while helping you fundraise at the same time. We take the hassle out of coordinating your team's apparel and make shopping and buying easy. So when you need awesome spiritwear and uniforms for your organization, you can't beat Burkhardt.
You can't beat Burkhardt.
For growing businesses, digital marketing shouldn't be a gamble. If your business needs results, not guesswork, it's time for a different approach. At Margle Media, we deliver real results for businesses in an evolving digital world. Backed by data, guided by strategy, and focused on actionable outcomes. We partner with businesses of all sizes to drive growth locally or nationwide. Set up a free consultation today. Visit us at marglemedia.com. That's MARGLE media.com.
Welcome back to Point Taken. I'm Kristen. He's Steve. We are here with Bill McCoshen in studio, Joe Zepecki on the phone. We only got about 2.5 minutes, so let's quickly get your guys' thoughts on What feels like, if we're making bets, a pretty safe bet that Trump will likely lose the birthright citizenship case that went in front of SCOTUS this week. Maybe it'll be 7-2. What was Mary's prediction? Did she think 5-4? Did she really think that he was going to get 4?
Well, 4 had
she
to
said
consider it.
Closer than, it's not going to be unanimous or anything like that. I think she just said it was going to be closer than we might think.
I don't know if we want to take bets on this. I think there's a chance it's 7-2. But Joe, we've been starting with Bill, so let's start with you. Any quick takeaways in a minute as far as the SCOTUS hearing this week on birthright citizenship?
So this was the first time ever that a sitting United States president went to oral arguments. Here's why I'm surprised it was Donald Trump. We still don't have cameras in there. It's audio only. I can't believe Donald Trump went somewhere that his face wouldn't be on a TV screen. And it appears to have backfired on him because Chief Justice John Roberts, who usually plays it pretty close to the chest, was quite very forthright in his questions. It seems like if I was putting down money, I would say 7-2 or 8-1. Trump will lose. It was a waste of his time. It was spectacle for spectacle's sake. And it doesn't appear to have gotten him anything, except when the ruling comes down, one more thing to complain about.
Real quick, Bill.
I would say this. Hopefully, my friend Joe noticed this. He criticizes this particular SCOTUS often. I was impressed with the questions that were asked by all of the justices. I'm not an attorney. I listened to this thing for 90 minutes, which is sort of shocking all by itself. I don't know how many Americans did that, but this Supreme Court was well prepared. They asked great questions, and I think it was a good sign for democracy going forward.
They're smart people. That's why they're on the Supreme Court. They generally are smarter than the rest of us, which is a good thing. We'll see ultimately what they decide on this. All right, we have local news update coming up in a second here with Connie Weber. Before we get to that, the latest now from ABC.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston. It appears a U.S. fighter jet has been shot down by Iran over Iranian territory, and a U.S. search and rescue effort is underway, according to 3 U.S. officials.
The IRGC said it was an F-35, but from the images that we do believe are credible but have not independently verified, it looks like an Air Force F-15.
ABC's Martha Raddatz. That plane is a 2-seater aircraft. The pilot in front, the weapons systems officer in back. ABC News consultant, former State Department official, and retired Marine Colonel Steve Ganyard on the search.
We're seeing some extraordinary pictures coming out of Iran that appear to be credible, showing U.S. Air Force combat search and rescue C-130s and Blackhawks at low altitude searching for these crews. So they've got the best of the best out there looking for them, and hopefully that this has a happy ending.
This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:31. I'm Connie Weber. A cleanup continues after strong storms moved through southeast Wisconsin last night. Kenosha was hit hard. Multiple reports of downed trees, power lines, damage to homes. Over 2,000 residents there still without power, according to the We Energy's outage map. The utility reminding customers to stay away from power lines and reported right away. University of Wisconsin president refuses to leave after being told to resign or be fired. Jay Rothman received the letter Thursday from the UW Board of Regents, but was given no reason for the decision. The board held a closed emergency meeting Wednesday night to discuss personnel matters. Rothman says he will not submit his resignation. He's been president of the 25-campus university system since 2022. UW-Madison women's sports team's getting a new look. UW Health has been named the official jersey patch sponsor for Badger women's athletics. The healthcare provider's logo will appear on uniforms for basketball, volleyball, hockey, and softball starting in the 2026-27 season. Athletic Director Chris McIntosh says the deal highlights UW Health's continued commitment to women's sports and student athletes. Time for news about your money with the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Good Friday. Markets are closed today. Trading resumes on Monday. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Just a couple of broken down vehicles. Doesn't look like they're blocking any lanes. One on the right shoulder. I-41 north, about a mile beyond the ramp from Wisconsin Highway 158. Right shoulder was blocked due to a disabled vehicle. 41 north at the ramp from Port Washington. Looks like that just has been cleared off the roadway. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Chance for afternoon and evening showers and storms. High of 50 today. Those showers and storms continue into the overnight hours with a low 37. Then rain likely tomorrow morning. High Saturday 56. Mostly cloudy Easter Sunday with a high of 50. Slight chance of showers on Monday with a high 47. Sunshine on Tuesday, high of 40. 41 in Madison, 40 in Green Bay, 43 now in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:33.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Car Edge. The stress of car buying is finally a thing of the past. Car Edge negotiates with local dealerships for you, keeping your personal info private. With an average of 20-plus years of dealership experience, Car Edge experts know every trick in the book, saving you time and money. No sales calls, no wasted hours playing games at a dealership, just the best deal on the car you want. WTMJ fans get 20% off. Call 414-667-7413 or visit caredge.com/WTMJ for a free no-obligation consultation today.
It's just not fair. My daughter works so hard and loves sports, but now I'm worried about her competing against boys because of activists like Chris Taylor. It breaks my heart to see her safety and dreams dashed by activist politicians.
I'm Judge Maria Lazar, and I believe the law must be based on fairness and common sense. I will stand up for the rights of families and protect our children. It is time for a justice who puts the law and your family first. Paid for by Friends of Maria Lazar.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for QC Kinetics. It's vacation season, and you may be out with your family and friends. Maybe you're on a plane or in a car. And the last thing you want to deal with is joint pain. You're at the end of your rope with that knee pain, or your hips, or the shoulder, maybe the back. It keeps you up at night, and now it may keep you from enjoying a trip to the beach. There's got to be another way, and there is. QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics and its regenerative treatments can help you and do it without surgery and without long recoveries. It's time to get relief. Call QC Kinetics and set yourself up a free appointment. They have a clinic in Mequon. They have another one in Greenfield. The treatments are super easy, done right there in the office, and then you can go on about your day. Here's the number, 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. Call today and get your life back. 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. Call QC Kinetics today.
Well, welcome back to Point Taken. I am Kristen Bry. He is Steve Scafidi. We are on our Friday show with Bill McCoshen and Joe Zepecki. Let's move to Wisconsin news, of which in the last 24 hours feels like there's been a lot, including finally 5 days before the election.
This thing was fraught with peril.
The debate between our
Someone didn't want it to happen, for
Supreme
sure.
Court Justice candidates, Judge Chris Taylor, Judge Maria Lazar, they finally, because even last night it got delayed because of the weather.
Right.
And so we finally had a debate between the two of them. Bill, I know you wanted to start with this today, and so I'm feeling that you have thoughts.
Yeah, and I would start with sort of massive disappointment that we're at this stage. I understand that Judge Taylor got kidney stones. I don't wish that on anybody. But this debate should have been 3 weeks out. These things need to happen before early voting begins. And at a minimum, early in-person voting, which is 2 weeks out. So that means, by the Thursday night, 3 weeks out, we should be having these debates.
Why didn't that happen?
Well, a lot of times it's the campaigns. They want to push it as late as they can, particularly the candidate who's at least perceived to be in the lead. I don't know if that's the case here, but I've been on those campaigns where we said we'll do it as late as possible. And, oh, by the way, we'll do it at 8 o'clock on Friday night when people are 5 Manhattans in.
Or Friday Night Football, or it's like
Friday night
for general election, fall
so
elections.
I've been part of those negotiations. But I think the media needs to do a better job at pushing for these things earlier. There was never a real debate in the DPI race last year, and that might have been decisive if there had been. This race, this is too late. I think it was slightly favored Lazar last night, but who even knows about it, right? I mean, if you were prepared to watch it 9 days ago, maybe you didn't see it last night. If you were prepared to watch it at 7 last night and you couldn't watch it at 8, you probably didn't see it.
I'd love
right?
to see how many people just said, you know what, I'll get to the highlights. And just said, I'm not watching.
Well, I was
this.
one of them.
Yeah.
My family and I decided to watch the movie Nuremberg.
I didn't watch it live.
By the way, which is A+.
Yeah, you should give that as a recommendation.
But I would say this is really unfortunate for Wisconsin voters. I think it will be the lowest turnout we've had in recent memory.
Since 20, you think it's lower or higher than 2019?
Lower.
Interesting.
Can I ask Bill a question before Joe jumps in? I know Joe's got a lot of thoughts. Judge Taylor, they asked her if she was a Democrat. And she started, I guess, did she hem and haw or said she's not?
She did.
Basic paraphrasing. She serves as a Democrat lawmaker.
For 9 years.
So does that just go away when you're a judge?
Of course it doesn't.
Of course it doesn't. That's silly to me.
Yeah.
Own up to it. You were a
Right.
Democratic lawmaker and leave it at that.
Yeah. That's part of authenticity.
Right.
And I think she would have gotten more credit for saying, absolutely, I was elected as a Democrat, and I believe in the principles of the Democratic Party. But I think that would have been fine, right? Could Lazar have done anything with that? Here, I mean, the reality is, and Joe knows this well, with 5 days to go, Lazar's ability to cut an ad and use it from last night is very slim, in part because she has no money. But secondly, because there isn't enough time to burn it in, right? So having debates this late are really, really unfortunate for Wisconsin voters.
Yeah,
Joe,
it's way too late.
Joe, what would you have suggested Judge Taylor how to answer that question?
I think she should have started with what Bill said and then talked about how since she has become a judge, she has, studiously avoided partisan politics.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all judges, right and left, try to do that. And she could have done some education to folks on why it matters, why we have judges in black robes and not red or blue ones. Bill and I are in the heat of agreement. This should have happened sooner. I fully agree. Before early in-person voting is when these debates need to happen. I think it probably has more to do with the media. Bill mentioned the Friday night debates. Those are always the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association.
Yep.
And that's the window that they insist on because it's the only way they can distribute it. So this is another part of our politics that is not working like it's supposed to. I'm glad there was a debate. It sounds like, and I was not able to watch all of it. I saw some clips. It sounds like people who are inclined to vote for Democrats understand that Chris Taylor shares their values. It sounds like people who are more conservative understand that Lazar is the conservative choice. And that's kind of the way these races have gone. So mission accomplished for the, 20, 30, 40,000 Wisconsinites who are watching. I hope for our friends at Channel 12's sake it was more than that, but I'm not real confident.
We talked about this last week when Todd Alba filled in for you, and it has to do with, remember all the ads for the last one and then the complete opposite this time. And I don't know who made the point, but it's like, don't we need some of these ads just to find out who these people are? Because all we hear about from the polling is that nobody knows who these, or they either don't care or they don't know who they are.
$115 million spent 1 year ago. This one will be around 10.
Isn't that amazing?
That's crazy.
So
that's nuts.
I'm going to make a point that might shock some of the listeners, maybe you guys too, is Rebecca Bradley would have cruised to re-election. Based on everything we have seen and heard in the last 90 days, there is no question Rebecca Bradley would have easily been reelected to the Supreme Court.
Because you don't think that Judge Taylor runs a different campaign if the candidate is
maybe more
Justice
money
Bradley?
comes in, but then she comes off as nasty, right? I think it would have been a trickier race for her. And while I actually agree with Rebecca Bradley's criticism of the GOP infrastructure in Wisconsin, she still would have overcome that and won this race.
Joe, are we smarter if we spend more money on these campaigns?
We the people?
Yes. Because clearly people don't know anything about this race.
2 weeks out,
This is where I
50%
have
of the
such,
people
I
had
have
no
such
idea who
mixed
they were.
feelings about this as far as we all say we want money out of politics, but at the same time you can't overlook the correlation between more money in campaigns and voter turnout because people just know and they feel they internalize what the stakes are.
I want a more engaged citizenry. I think y'all will be surprised by the turnout. I think it will be higher than 2019, and I think Judge Taylor is going to have a clear victory, hopefully at a margin that shocks some people.
You want equal time on the prediction?
That was all the early indications. Sort of my biggest regret in the last 2 weeks is since the Marquette poll, nobody stepped in to help Lazar. Anybody on the right, whether it's FedSoc, WMC, or sort of the traditional allies, there was an opportunity there that was whiffed on.
So at some point, is someone in the Republican Party going to answer for that?
Yes.
Love that. All right. That's the right answer, by the way, in my opinion.
All right, we talk about Rothman next?
Yeah.
What the heck is going on at the
Bill's got the right
UW
shirt on for that one.
Systems? Oh, my
I'm
gosh.
not applying. This isn't an application.
Oh, and that makes sense. All right, quick break here on Point Taken 620 WTMJ.
For 176 years, St. Vincent de Paul Society of Milwaukee has been neighbors helping neighbors, working to eliminate poverty and hunger with compassion and dignity. When families face hard times, our volunteers step in. Over 600 trained volunteers ready to meet people where they're at, in their homes. And that's what our Neighbors Helping Neighbors home visit program is all about. Volunteers travel in pairs, listening first, then offering personalized support. They provide families and individuals with things like furniture, beds, food, clothing, and connect them to vital community resources, help that provides stability during challenging times. These home visits don't just address an immediate need, they help create a safer, more stable future for our families and individuals in our community. Last year alone, St. Vincent de Paul Society volunteers completed nearly 11,000 home visits across Milwaukee County, serving those who need us most. Together, we are neighbors helping neighbors. To learn more about our mission or get involved, visit svdpmilw.org.
Hey, Wisconsin, WTMJ's Steve Skivity here for Badger Fence. I have a beautiful Badger Fence in my backyard. Cedar is what we chose, but they have a lot of choices. You know that you look at your fence, you may have an existing fence, you think, ooh, that thing's leaning, maybe it's squeaking, maybe it's in the wind, it's making noise. That's not a good look, and it's certainly time to upgrade, in my opinion. And they can do three things for you: privacy, security, and a fence that looks amazing, sharp, cool, whatever your criteria is. That's why I called Badger Fence about 8 years ago now. And my fence still looks amazing, by the way. They've been installing fences in Milwaukee area since 1945. Now, that's a record. Better Business Bureau accredited with an A-plus rating and a longtime NARI Milwaukee member. They make it easy. They walk through the choices, styles, materials, wood, cedar, which is what we chose, ornamental, chain link, PVC vinyl. There's a million different choices that you can pick. Land on the right look for your home and your budget. That's important, too. Badger Fence, licensed, bonded, insured. That matters. Not all companies have that. And they use the best materials. So whether you're replacing, first-time fence buyer, if you want to put that fence on your list this year, set up an appointment with BadgerFence.com. Simple as that. BadgerFence.com. Tell them Steve from WTMJ sent you.
3 generations ago, it was about doing one thing and doing it right.
Hardwood, tile, carpet, floors that had to last because our name, Adair, was on them. Over time, homeowners asked us to do more. Kitchens, bathrooms, full remodels. And so our name changed to Adair Floors and Remodeling.
But flooring has always been the foundation, literally.
And it's something the next generation already understands.
Hi, I'm Ava. Hi, I'm Quinn. My dad does floors.
From hardwood and luxury vinyl plank to tile and carpet, we handle selection, layout, and professional installation.
And because we also remodel homes, we know how flooring works with everything else: transitions, finishes, and long-term durability.
When you hire Adair, you're getting experience you can stand on and people who will be here for decades to come.
Call my dad. Bye-bye.
Adair Floors and Remodeling. Built on flooring, trusted for remodels. 3 generations, 1 standard. Call us at 414-761-3660 for your free flooring estimate.
Hey, take your family to the Good Friday Fish Fry and the magnificent Easter Sunday brunch at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club. It's all you care to eat. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat free. Free for the Easter brunch. Google, call, reserve at the Fox and Hounds today.
All right, big doings at Madison. At least the request is out there for the current president. What's his official title?
President
yeah.
of the Universities of Wisconsin.
Rothman. He is either asked to resign or fired. I mean, I guess you can determine what status you think is appropriate. But I guess the answer for me is why.
Yeah.
No one knows.
Nobody knows. He was given a take your pick. We have no confidence in you. You can either resign on your terms or we're going to fire you.
Where does that come from? Like out of the blue? Or?
And that's been his response. So Jay is a lawyer. He used to run Foley and Lardner law firm, and was well regarded for that. He's a strong lawyer. He grew up in the Wausau area. He's generally a good guy. I've gotten to know him in his new position. I did not know him while he was at Foley. It seems he was blindsided by this. He did not see it coming. And the funny part is the timing is bizarre. You got to think about this. We will have a brand new governor. I don't know if it'll be a Democrat or Republican, but on January 7th, there will be a new governor. And by the way, if it happens to be Tom Tiffany, there are 9 unconfirmed regents, which is roughly half. So on day 1, Tom Tiffany will replace all 9 of them. Not one of them will survive.
Wow.
And so he will effectively have a working majority of the new regents instantly, unless the Senate flips to the Democrats, which is possible, and they don't confirm his picks. That is now the new tradition. So people can serve until they're rejected. Do the 9 unconfirmed regents walk away when Tiffany sends them a letter saying, thanks for your service, it's no longer required? We'll see.
Could he pull a Fred as a Pren?
Pren.
Yes.
And just hang out?
They can hang out until the new person's confirmed, which is of the control of the state Senate.
God,
Joe, what do you make of all of this?
Well, I have questions for you guys because my undisclosed location is spring break in Florida along the beach. So I haven't been totally locked in. Has Evers, Voss, Lemieux, have any of them weighed in on this?
No.
Not that I've
haven't
seen.
anything.
Everyone's been mum. It's basically what I understand is that Rothman, I think, if you want to say, leaked this to Scott Bauer at AP. And since then, no one has said anything. All the regions who've been reached out for comment have said we don't comment on personnel matters. New York Times wrote about this, and Rothman and Amy Bogost, is that how you pronounce her name?
Yeah, Bogost.
Didn't have any comments. So everyone's been very mum, but it feels out of the blue. And I don't understand as far as how giving someone no reason to say, it's a big job to just be like, you're out. So you can either resign or we're going to fire you, but we're not going to give you any indication as to why.
So at least the story in the State Journal today, Joe, in Madison, essentially had some people on background that suggested it had to do with the deals he cut with the legislature, which, by the way, provided the largest increase to the University of Wisconsin system in history. So that's a win, right? But to get that, he had to give up some things, such as DEI, such as, professors actually have to teach X amount of hours per week. And what we would all consider in the normal world pretty basic didn't sit well with the faculty senate. So there's some suggestion that that deal had something to do with this, but it still doesn't make sense because the regents signed off on it.
How independently do the regents work, even if a majority of them have been appointed by Evers? Is there any kind of backdoor weird politics that could be happening?
There's weird politics when the majority is about to flip from one gubernatorial set of appointees to another, related to who's going to be the next president. Generally, they follow a pattern, but there are times when they go off pattern. This is one where it appears they did this on their own. There's no indication that Evers sort of engineered this. And frankly, why would he? His regents picked Jay Rothman over then Chancellor Jim Schmidt from UW-Eau Claire, who's now the president of James Madison University. So it worked out for him too. But this is their guy. So what didn't work out?
All right, going to take a break. Quick hitter after the break with Bill and Joe on the Friday edition of Point Taking with Kristen and Steve right here on 620 WTMJ.
Kitchen remodeling projects consistently rank as one of the most valuable improvement projects in your home. I'm Mark Olson with Redo Cabinets, here to tell you that we can transform your kitchen into your vision and save you money. Now is a great time to learn about refacing during our spring sales event. During this event at Redo Cabinets, get premium cabinet facings with plenty of options for color, hardware, style, and accessories. And get free premium countertops with every refacing project. Or payments as low as $195 a month. That's right, $195 a month. Call today and book a free, no-obligation consultation. Redo Cabinets, 414-677-6417. 414-677-6417. That's 414-677-6417. Or visit us at redocabinets.com. That's redocabinets.com. Serving homeowners for over 70 years in Illinois and Wisconsin. Don't replace, reface with Redo Cabinets.
Are you looking for a welcoming place to unwind? Vince Vitrano here. Our family found a home at Racine Country Club. Premier golf on the historic championship course, rolling terrain, famously fast greens, tight fairways, and scenic Root River views. Work your game year-round with indoor simulators, hitting bays, top-notch practice facilities, and leagues for every level. Plus, at Racine Country Club, you enjoy elevated dining, swimming, and a full calendar of family-friendly events. Join me on the course at Racine Country Club, racinecountryclub.com.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big-name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less, and we do everything that a full-service agency does. Because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
The Mine Chef Restaurant's Good Friday all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry is just $9.99. Easter brunch is an all-you-can-eat feast. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat for free in Hartford and Oshkosh. Google, call, and reserve your family table today. The Mine Shaft.
Behind every breaking headline, there's a reporter whose perspective deserves to be heard. This is WTMJ's Adam Roberts. Join me Sunday mornings at 10 on Reporter's Notebook as we break down the news from the lens of the reporter and analyze stories that deserve closer inspection. We'll also give you a behind-the-scenes look at what goes into a reporter's job and how the news you hear every day comes together.
Bringing you the story behind the story. It's Reporter's Notebook, Sunday mornings at 10 on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Thanks for listening on this Friday. You can find all of our shows and interviews and fun stuff. We got some new content for the newsletter. You can get that by just texting the word extra. It's 855-616-1620. We did another overtime. It's a really, really good one. So we'll
let's ask the guys.
Looks maxing.
Bill, do you know what looks maxing is?
No.
Joe, do you know what looks maxing is?
I'm hanging out with an 18-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a couple of 15-year-olds this week. Yeah, I know what looks maxing.
Are they pro or anti?
Joke about it to make their mothers very, very concerned.
Yeah.
Got
it's called rage baiting, and all the kids do it.
Yeah, it's a good answer, though.
Do you want to know what it is, Bill?
Sure.
So it's an online like meme community of young men who their biggest focus is maximizing their looks. So they rate each other's bodies. They measure the space between men on men, but they're straight men. But it's like born out of the incel community.
Allegedly.
They do things like they like order things from China to like it's all about maximizing your appearance. It's a new fad.
Smashing.
And they some of them hit their face with a hammer.
Pub in the window on State Street
But
and
this is my
putting
big
up a
take.
number when a girl walks by.
No, and this is my big take. It's like it's a weird community, but it's also like a lot of the things they're doing, women have been doing for a very long time as far as altering their bodies and investing way too much money and doing dangerous things in order to look a certain way. So anyways, that's what we talked about in our overtime this week.
It's actually a great conversation. So you can find it on our newsletter. We'll add that link. Quickly before we get to the news at the top, I know Joe sort of mentioned something before. Turnout expectations Tuesday.
I think it's going to be low. I would refer you to Brittany Kinzer, former candidate for DPI superintendent. There are reasons locally to turn out, starting with your local school board. There are guides. Heartland Post, for example, has a statewide guide if you don't know who's running. Honestly, I don't know who's running in the town of Middleton for anything other than for the Supreme Court. I'm in an information vacuum there for sure. But there are entities like the Heartland Post that are putting out voter guides if you're on the conservative side.
All right. Joe? Quickly?
I already voted.
All right. You say you'd be up. You'd be surprisingly up. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, I think turnout will be higher.
All right, so just so we know, turnout in 2019 was just a little bit over 1.2 million votes.
So you got to beat that number, Joe.
2020 was 1.5.
Let's take a break. We always have a lot of fun in that last half hour with Bill and Joe. We'll do that after the news, which is next.
There's a lot of noise coming out of Washington these days, but one thing retirees in Wisconsin can't afford to ignore is the new Big Beautiful Bill. Sounds harmless, right? But here's the truth. The changes buried in this bill could have a serious impact on your retirement. At Drake & Associates, we've dug into the details, and we want to make sure you know what's really at stake. The Big Beautiful Bill includes sweeping updates to tax brackets, Social Security thresholds, Medicare premiums, and retirement account rules. And for many retirees, it could mean higher taxes on your savings, more limits on deductions, and unexpected changes to your income plan. Maybe you're already retired, or maybe you're just a few years away. Either way, what you don't know could cost you thousands. That's why we're offering Wisconsin residents a free educational guide to help you understand how the new bill may impact retirees and questions to discuss with your trusted financial advisor. Just text the word tax to 414-897-9522. That's tax, T-A-X, to 414-897-9522. You'll get immediate access to expert insights from the team at Drake & Associates, retirement planners who have been serving Wisconsin for over 20 years. We focus on tax-efficient retirement planning, helping you keep more of your money, avoiding surprises, and staying ahead of the curve no matter what Congress throws your way. So before the Big Beautiful Bill takes a bite out of your hard-earned savings, let's make sure your plan is designed to help prepare for uncertainty. Text TAX to 414-897-9522. That's TAX to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping build retirement confidence right here in Wisconsin.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
The crew roll into Kansas City, and we're ready to crash the kingdom.
One pitch. Chopper, right side. It's going to sneak through and into right field for a base hit. Ortiz is in. Terang streaking around third. He will score. A 2-run single from the captain, Christian Yelich.
The Brewers are on the road, ready to rumble with the Royals. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:10 on the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
11:01, we're at 43 degrees. It's going to be mostly cloudy today with a chance of afternoon and evening showers and storms. High today 50. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. A U.S. official confirms it appears a U.S. fighter jet has been shot down by Iran. ABC's Martha Raddatz says a pilot and weapons systems officer were on board the fighter jet.
They did eject separately. That is how that works, within milliseconds of one another. So they are not necessarily right by each other, but certainly in the same vicinity. But this could really put a lot of pressure on the Pentagon and the American public if something happens here.
A search and rescue effort launched by the U.S. is now underway. This comes as President Trump has warned Iran about intensified strikes. Pam Bondi out as U.S. Attorney General. The president announcing Bondi will be leaving the administration and moving to a private sector job. This comes after Bondi faced criticism over her handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files. The White House pushing back against reports Tulsi Gabbard's time as National Director of National Intelligence may be coming to an end. The Guardian reports President Trump polled members of his cabinet about replacing Gabbard after she declined to criticized Joe Kent for resigning in protest to military operations in Iran. New details about why ICE agents arrested the president of the Islamic Society of Milwaukee.
The U.S. Department of Homeland Security calls Salah Sarsour a terrorist, saying he was convicted of crimes in Israel over 3 decades ago. He came to the U.S. in 1993 as a conditional resident, then obtained a green card, which DHS says Sarsour lied on his application for. Sarsour has no criminal record in the United States, and his community in Milwaukee depicts a very different picture of an honest and celebrated leader. Jessica Gatso, WTMG News.
Sarsour was arrested Monday morning as he was leaving his home. His wife and 6 children are U.S. citizens. New testimony today in the trial of Tremaine Jones, tying key evidence directly to one weapon. The 23-year-old faces 4 felony charges in the death of Officer Kendall Corder. A state crime lab expert says shell casings and bullet fragments recovered near 25th and Garfield all point to the same AR-15 style rifle. Wisconsin State Crime Lab examiner Troy Chadwick testifies.
Comparing all 4 of these additional cartridge cases with not only the group of 16, but also the testifiers from the Palmetto rifle. In my opinion, all 20 total, including the 4, were fired in that specific firearm.
In this particular AR-15 short program?
Correct.
Prosecutors say evidence directly connects the shooting to a single gun used during the incident. You may not see big changes on the roadway yet, but progress is continuing along the I-94 corridor.
Work continues behind the scenes along I-94 near 27th Street. Eric Hansen with the DOT says crews are now building out part of a new bridge.
We did a concrete pour for the pier stem, trying to build that pier underneath the existing 27th Street bridge.
That's part of a phased replacement of the structure.
So we can finish demolishing that existing bridge south of the freeway and then begin building the new bridge working from south to north.
Major traffic impacts are not expected from this phase. Debbie Laziga, WTMJ News.
The jobs report for March has beaten expectations. Most analysts were expecting to see non-farm payrolls grow by about 60,000. That number was much higher at 178,000. Today's jump follows a loss of 92,000 jobs shown in the previous month's report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. No trading on Wall Street today. Markets are closed for a Good Friday. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:04.
I'm not against shopping online. In fact, you can check out our huge selection at BurkhartSportingGoods.com. But when you're ready to buy, Burkhart should be your only stop. Because here, you can grab hold of the Midwest's largest selection of baseball bats, gloves, and equipment, and take all the swings you need in our indoor batting cages to make sure you buy the right bat. And when you buy your new mitt, we'll steam and custom fit it for you right on the spot. This is Brian Burkhart, and when you love baseball and softball like we do,
You can't beat Burkhart.
if you're in charge of uniforms and equipment, you want to get the most value for your team's budget. You want the most for your money, and you want the process to be easy. Because you already have enough on your plate. We get it. Burkhart Sporting Goods Team Outfitting Division is the best you'll find. With an abnormally high customer satisfaction rate and our own silk screening and embroidery facility for quality control. So if you want the highest quality team outfitting and incredible service,
You can't beat Burkhart.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Have you ever thought to yourself, I want my house to look better than it does. I just don't know where to even start or even what to do. Tri-County Contracting can help you with that. They can help you love your home again. They have the design consultants, they've got the showroom, they've got real picture renderings, they've got it all to help turn your home back into your dream home. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. Love your home again with Tri-County Contracting.
Truth Nation, it's that time again for the Tory Low Community Cleanup. Mark your calendars for Saturday, April 18th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. as we come together to clean up the city of Milwaukee. Be part of making a difference in our community. The Tory Low Community Cleanup, Saturday, April 18th, 8 to noon. Sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, Steinhoffels, Cousin Subs, Waste Management, and presented by the Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewerage District, your clean water partner, serving greater Milwaukee for 100 years.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers face off with the Royals tonight. Milwaukee entering the series with a 5-1 record. The Bucks will face off with the Celtics on their home court. Milwaukee's lost 2 of their last 3 meetings with Boston this season. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Couple of disabled vehicles, both on the right shoulder. One's going to be I-41 East, about a third of a mile beyond the ramp from 60th Street. The other 94 at the ramp from 68th Street.
Sponsored by Accunet Mortgage.
Get your rock solid pre-approval or a no-pressure refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Chance for afternoon and evening showers and storms, a high of 50. Those showers and storms could continue into the overnight hours, low 37. Rain likely tomorrow morning, then a high of 56. Easter Sunday, mostly cloudy, high 50. Slight chance of rain on Monday with a high 47, then sunshine on Tuesday, 40 for the high. 41 in Madison, 40 in Green Bay, 43 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scafidi and Kristen Bry.
One more half hour with the guys, Bill McCoshen, Joe Zepecki, on this Friday edition of Point Taken. Now, I feel like we're still getting more information about this story, but yesterday news broke that the president, in this is Wisconsin story, Milwaukee story, the president of the Islamic Society of Milwaukee and a prominent pro-Palestinian activist has been taken into custody by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. He's been here since, he was born in the West Bank, but been here since 1993, seemingly no criminal record, no issues as far as he's here legally. According to a statement from Homeland Security, he's been detained and accused of lying on immigration forms. But this feels like the national conversation coming to our backyard as far as pro-Palestinian activists who potentially are being targeted for their political speech. I know, Joe, you were very fired up about this yesterday, so we'll start with you as far as what your take on this is.
This is absurd. This gentleman has been here as a legal resident for 32 years. He's an active member of his community. He owns 3 small businesses, 3 furniture stores. Not abusive. No one has found anything in terms of a run-in with the law since he moved here 32 years ago. His kids and grandchildren are U.S. citizens. What the hell are we doing here? This is a continuation of the same nonsense we saw when Kristi Noem was running DHS. So apparently Mark Wayne Mullen, it's literally just like swapping out one for the other, and they're going to continue to violate the rights of legal U.S. residents. If this person has committed a crime, go to the Department of Justice, go to a grand jury, get an indictment. This is taking 10 ICE agents to snatch somebody, taking them first to Chicago, then to Indiana, before he's even apparently allowed to make a phone call. I don't care what your politics are. If this happens to you, I will continue to call it what it is, which is un-American nonsense.
Do you know the whole story, though? Is there something we don't know? I don't know enough about this to have a clear take on it. Do we know the whole story?
But as far as taking him out of the state without having any kind of indictment, like in what way is that? I'm
not agreeing with the ICE activity. I'm just saying we don't know the whole story. So commenting from a perspective of I know he's innocent, I don't know that. I don't know this person. I know what he's.
But Steve, at this point, why would you trust that ICE and CBP and DHS are good actors when we have seen dozens, scores of examples of people who are here legally with no criminal record having their civil liberties denied, and they don't get the benefit of the doubt anymore?
Have you seen me cheering for ICE agents and their activities? No. But again, when you guys brought this topic up, I don't know the whole story. At some point, I would hope, given the system of justice that we have, that we'll learn the whole story. He could be completely innocent. I totally agree. How this is handled, don't agree. But let's get to the facts of the case before we just say he's innocent, because we don't know.
So the way this show gets set up anyway is we exchange text messages all week long. And yesterday, Joe brought this gentleman's name up. I put an emoji on the question mark. I'd never heard of him. Had no idea who he was. And so I had to do some research on this. And I think one of the things Joe said is important in this, which is he has not committed a crime since he has been here. That phrase is really important as more comes out about this. And I'm going to speak to ICE in just a second. It appears, based on reporting this morning, that he did commit crimes in the Middle East when he was younger, including attacking Israeli military officials, throwing Molotov cocktails at their home. Whether that proves to be a true fact, but he was convicted of that in the Middle East before he moved here. So it appears he did commit crimes prior to moving to the United States. Now, how that is relevant to ICE today, is he a threat after having been here for 32 years? That seems to be a stretch to me, but I think they need to do a better job when they're going after people that may have done something untoward like he did or allegedly did before he moved here. That he doesn't seem to be the highest priority for me. So they need to do a better job of explaining why they're going after guys like him, and I shouldn't have to work so hard to get the details of what he may have done in a prior life before he got here.
But let's also understand this administration. They saw a fierce attempt by pro-Palestinian protesters, in some cases rioters. Some people broke the law. That's been talked about on this show and others. And they've pushed back. And this response may be part of that they're not going to allow Jewish students at universities, Jewish citizens of the United States to be persecuted in these ways, not throwing free speech out the window. But these facts have to be determined. That being said, if he is innocent, he needs to be
Returned to the States?
Returned to Wisconsin, to his home. He lives in Franklin, by the way.
Yeah.
Very close to where I live. Again, I don't like the process, but till we know the facts, I'm going to hold my judgment.
But let's end here as far as, does this indicate that there's not going to be much change with a new Secretary of the DHS?
I'm going to say too soon to tell. I don't agree with Joe that you can automatically assign this to Mark Wayne Mullen. I mean, he probably doesn't know where all the bathrooms are yet at DHS. So I'm going to give him some time and the benefit of the doubt. But my hope is that the Tom Homans of the world are going to prevail here on how we handle these things. Let's go after violent criminals who are here, right? And I don't know that this guy meets that test. Maybe he does, but you're going to have to do a better job of explaining it.
Joe, anything final before we move on to say something nice?
We should probably move on to something.
All
right, we will move on.
He edited himself. I love that. All right, she's Chris and I'm Steve. Bill and Joe, Friday edition. Say something nice after this.
It's Easter weekend, a special family holiday. I love this time of year. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Take your family to the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club for a free dinner. The Good Friday haddock fish fry is all you care to eat and one of the best. All other dinners tonight through Sunday are buy one, get a second dinner free. Desserts, buy one, get one free. Great ice cream drinks, buy one, get one free. The popular pan-fried walleye, twin lobster tails, the mixed grill of a filet, shrimp, and scallops, your favorite steak, any entree, buy one, get one free, even on Easter weekend. That's amazing. Relax with a delicious old-fashioned. Choose from 20 bourbons, 100 wines. The Old World Bar is fantastic. 8 unique dining rooms. The Fox and Hounds truly is a one-of-a-kind gem. Celebrate Easter with your family at the Fox and Hounds Supper Club tonight through Sunday. Half your dinners are free. Just off Highway 167 near Holy Hill. Tables are open. Google, call, and reserve your free dinner today. Happy Easter.
When you think about your financial future, it helps to have fee-only fiduciary guidance that puts your interests first. At Annex Wealth Management, you receive comprehensive planning from a team that includes wealth managers, financial planners, and investment specialists working together to support your financial life. Annex's advice is designed to stay aligned with your goals without commissions influencing recommendations. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference. Click Get Started at annexwealth.com.
This is Libby Collins. Join us Sunday mornings at 11 o'clock for conversations with the most interesting people in southeastern Wisconsin.
Morgan had profound mental health needs that needed to be addressed very quickly.
The domes, the way they were, are not a modern conservatory.
I then grabbed my gun, I ran across the street, and I also started shooting.
That's very interesting because my sister and I have that all the time.
Your sister, the queen.
WTMJ Conversations, Sunday mornings at 11 on WTMJ. Yeah. You keep saying your side is better. It's time to
say something nice
about the other side of the political aisle on Point Taken.
Come on, people now, smile on your brother.
All right, Joe, since we moved on to say something nice before you could say something not nice, what do you have for us this week?
I'm going to say something nice about the Trump administration.
Ooh,
which I don't often do.
Roll tape.
Hello? Who is this?
The Trump administration gets my hat tip this week for moving forward with the Artemis mission beyond the moon. Space exploration is awe-inspiring. It is scientifically important. As human beings, we are wired to explore. And after coming out of the caves and over the mountains and across the oceans, space is that next great exploration. So I think it would have been very easy for Trump and the administration to just say, we're not doing this. We've got other stuff we got to spend money on. I am very glad that they allowed this mission to proceed, and I am fascinated every time we get new images back. This is cool, and it's a reminder of how small all of us are in our place in the cosmos, and I've just really loved that feeling this week.
Nice.
All right.
Bill McCoshen.
Mine is a 3-judge panel that was appointed by the Wisconsin Supreme Court to oversee one of the redistricting cases related to the congressional maps. This is now the second 3-judge panel that has come back and said the maps are fine, they comply with the law, and we're not going to touch them. So I think we have finally crossed the line of demarcation where it's going to be too late to change congressional maps. That's obviously good news for Derek Van Orden, for Brian Stile, and it'll keep these maps in place at least through this 2026 election cycle, if not all the way till the end of the decade.
All right. I agree with that. Just move forward. All right. So in a this is kind of went under the radar, but as someone who has a fair amount of family members who have diabetes, Senator Susan Collins and John Kennedy, they joined, I think it's Jan.
Funniest guy in the Senate.
Is he?
Oh, my God.
All right, there you go. They joined Jan Sheehan?
Jean Shaheen.
Thank you. And Raphael Warnock, and they introduced the Insulin Act, which is aimed at improving insulin affordability, and it would cap it for private insurance at $35. And so this feels like one of those opportunities that, like, actual bipartisan, like, lawmaking that would actually help a lot of people, because there makes absolutely no sense that insulin is as expensive as it is. So hats off to Susan Collins and John Kennedy.
It's a good one. It's a 4-pack, right? Or 3-pack? 4-pack.
Well, it's two Republicans and 2 Democrats that have worked on this. Yeah.
Bipartisanship.
Yeah, exactly.
We like
How about that?
And it's like one of those dumb acronym names where it spells Insulin Act, but it's like a way longer. It's like all like the cheese acts and stuff like that Tammy Baldwin introduces. Anyways, sorry, Steve.
No problem. Real quick on mine. I've been watching, Kristen prompted me, maybe it was last week, could have been this week, to know more about 2028, like who the candidates are. So I've been watching a lot of stuff, and I know Cory Booker's been doing a lot of press lately, and he's
always doing press.
He is, and he likes that he likes the attention, let's be honest. He's also a very smart dude.
Yeah.
Rhodes Scholar, Stanford educated, whatever you think
Football
about.
player.
Yeah. So he's got a good resume. He said this, and I'm not trying to pick on the part where he criticizes his own party, but I think that is relevant to what I'm going to say next. He said this: as a whole, our party has failed this moment. He's a Democrat, if you don't know. I've called for a generational renewal because this left-right divide is killing our country, and our adversaries know it. That's a pretty important statement.
Yeah.
I don't care who said it, right or left. Yeah. He also added that purity tests, direct quote, within their party have led to more division in the U.S., and I would argue the Republicans have done the same damn thing, because that's what MAGA is. If you don't do what Trump says, you're not a Republican, you're a rhino, all that BS. This kind of talk coming from a Democrat, me a Republican, I appreciate, because the only way this problem gets fixed, and it is a problem, I don't care if you think it isn't, it is, that we can't compromise, can't get along, can't do bipartisan actual work in Congress or the legislature. This is how you start, by actually understanding what you're doing when you nominate your candidates. That's my
boom.
Boom.
That's actually a good prediction. Do you think moving to the governor's race in the general election and in 2028, you think we get more or less partisan?
More. And I'm going to make a quick prediction outside of the our next segment, and you're going to start to see ads as soon as Wednesday on the gubernatorial race.
No kidding. Wow.
Yes.
Right away. All that money that didn't get spent gets spent.
It's about to get spent.
But it should. No one
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Right.
I was just having this conversation yesterday, so they need to start breaking out from one another.
I've had a total mind shift on this. I was bitching about how much, but we need the money apparently. Not only collectively, but at the station. So that's a
political rates are a good thing.
All right. When we come back, we will get to our grab bag.
It's early in the year, but if you want that outdoor living project, that dream outdoor oasis started, you need to visit Outdoor Living Unlimited's amazing showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha. Nobody has a showroom like it. Bring your ideas, get new ideas, but let's design and build a backyard together. New deck, outdoor kitchen, fire pit, screen room, even a putting green or an automated pergola. Visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based, Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
A great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with a new LiftMaster or CHI maintenance-free garage door. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. A study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%. Garage doors rank first among all home improvement projects. To see Geis's huge selection of doors, visit their showroom in Brookfield, or you can also visit their online showroom at geisdoors.com. Geis has everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, you call Geis at 262-784-4250. That number again, 262-784-4250. It's Geis. Visit them online at geisdoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Are you hosting an event, launching something new, wanting to get the word out about your part of the state? Be a featured guest on the WTMJ Experience Wisconsin show. Share your story, promote your event or business, and connect with fans all across the state. I'm John Merkier. I'd love to interview you. We reach listeners from Milwaukee to Madison, Green Bay to La Crosse, everywhere in between. It's Experience Wisconsin. Ready to shine a spotlight on your business or company? Email me, john@WTMJ.com for more information. john@WTMJ.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scafidi.
And Kristen Bry of Point Taken.
Krista, did you know that only 40% of Americans have done any estate planning, and only 40% of those have been properly updated?
When it comes to wills, trusts, and probate, there's a lot at stake. I needed someone who specializes in estate planning. At Walney Legal Group, that's all they do.
No intimidating lawyers. They just provide customized, friendly, easy experience. They call it lawyering the way it should be. So whether you need your estate planning reviewed
or just getting started, visit WALNYlegal.com.
All right. Since we got most of the politics out of our systems, let's finish up with some grab bags.
All right, grab bag. Kristen, you go first today.
No, I have to go last because I'm still deciding what I even want to do.
I should have consulted her.
Yeah.
Bill, you go first.
I think we'll run out of time, so I don't think of one.
Okay.
Well, my dress, and I gave this away in a tease at the very top of the show. First of all, it's for by the time we get together again next Friday, the Wisconsin Badger men's hockey team will have played in the semifinals of their first Frozen Four in 16 years. 2010 was the last time we made it to the Frozen Four. Got to the championship game, did not win. But this team is unique. I think they actually have a shot to win the whole thing, and it's been fun to watch. I've been at games where they won and looked great. I've been at a playoff game against Ohio State where they looked awful, but here they are. And so I'm cheering for Wisconsin next Wednesday, and hopefully we'll be able to talk about it next Thursday, and we can talk next Friday. And then I want to piggyback on what Joe said about Artemis 2. I was 7 years old the last time that America came close to the moon, and I'm closer to 100 than I am to 7. So it's been a while, and I think it's great for America. I have my flag socks on, and I'm pretty pumped up about it. And like Joe, I love seeing the pictures. I think that is a uniting point for America, and we need it.
Yeah, we do need it. Joe Zapecki.
Uniting point for the world, hopefully.
Yeah.
I want to send some extra special love to my Auntie Pat. Pat, we love you. Keep staying on the mend, and we'll see you very soon. And I want to share with listeners that on our drive down to Florida, our path took us through Selma, Alabama, a historic site in the struggle for civil rights in this country. We were a little behind schedule, but we insisted on pulling over and spending a couple hours with the young men in our charge for the week. We went to the National Voting Rights Museum. We walked across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. A remarkable experience that anyone who is in the South should try to make time for. A very, very small community. This is not in some big metropolis. It's very rural Alabama, and another reminder that you never know, where the world is going to change, but people can make a difference. A really powerful experience. I'm glad we got to do that.
Good stuff,
Very
Joe.
cool.
Mine goes out to my lovely wife, Kathy, who's celebrating her birthday tomorrow, and we celebrated at Carnivore last night. Thanks to the folks at Carnivore for making the experience great. And I'm not paid to say that. It is the best steakhouse in Milwaukee. I'm saying it. But why I wanted to bring this up is because one's partner has a lot to do with what you can accomplish in life. And none of the things I've accomplished personally, professionally, anything would be without Kathy, my family. Just decisions I made in life. She spruced up my resume that got my first job with Nielsen all those years ago because my resume was horribly written, even though I'm a decent writer. That was just the start of it. Just decisions she said. She's rarely wrong. She's always been smarter than me because she teaches calculus, for Pete's sake. So it looks like gibberish, but she can somehow in her advanced mind figure that out. But she makes me better, and that's the coolest thing about having a partner. A wife, in my case. It is such a blessing, and she makes life easier.
Happy birthday, Kathy.
That's the cool
You think
thing.
she's listeling?
Probably not.
Got to clip this out so she knows it,
Yes.
it
Can you
actually happened.
send the clip to her, Jazz? I give you her email. No, she's not a big political person. Although she's sort of evolved recently, and she is paying closer attention. She'll ask me questions now, which she didn't used to do. So maybe I'm more angry at politics than she is now. I don't know. What do you think?
That you're more angry at politics?
Oh, I'm sort of disgusted, as per my say something nice. I'm disgusted with both sides, and that's irritating.
I don't think you're alone in that.
No, I'm not. But yeah, politics can be very frustrating.
People are very frustrated with the system that we have.
Yeah. One quick thing. Thanks to Bill and thanks to Joe. The cool thing about these guys, they make themselves available even though life goes on. That's not easy to do. I get that Joe's on vacation. You've been dealing with all kinds of stuff, family stuff, vacations, trips, and you still show up. That's why you're now a featured cast member.
There you go.
Featured cast member, Joe.
On our Friday show.
We're those Saturday Night Live guys at the very end. And featuring...
All right, I got one. I got, here's to making new traditions with your family. So this is the second year for Easter. We're going down to my sister-in-law and brother-in-law's house in Park Ridge, Chicago, because they decided last year that they want to start hosting Easter and doing an Easter egg hunt with
Family
Frankie and our niece Maddie, and his parents come, who we're friends with and lovely, and Mike's parents come, and I'm really looking forward to it because then it also means they take Frankie for a night, and Mike and I get a night out in Chicago with no kids. So here's the new traditions on holidays.
Bonus benefit and have fun. Happy Easter, everybody. We're sticking
Happy
around.
Easter.
Bill,
don't forget to vote on Tuesday if you haven't already.
Yes.
Let's yank up that turn up so it's representative of what we all think in Wisconsin. All right, we got local news coming up with Connie Weber. Before we get to that, in the last half hour, ABC.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Mike Dubusky. After appearing to shoot down an American fighter jet over Iran, that country's state media now says the country has put a bounty on those soldiers' heads.
U.S. pilots are trained in what is called SEER. If they're shot down or have to eject over enemy territory. SEER stands for Survive, Evade, Resist, and Escape. They, of course, know that the Iranians are looking for them. In fact, Iran put out a message to shoot the pilots if they were found, and a reward was being offered later, they said, if they are found alive.
ABC Chief Global Affairs anchor Martha Raddatz. It comes after President Trump claimed in an address this week that the Iranians have no anti-aircraft weaponry left following weeks of American strikes. The president has been briefed about the incident, according to White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. The war in Iran now about to enter its 6th week. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:31. I'm Connie Weber. A University of Wisconsin president refuses to leave after being told to resign or be fired. Jay Rothman received the letter Thursday from the UW Board of Regents, but was given no reason for the decision. The board held a closed emergency meeting Wednesday night to discuss personnel matters. Rothman says he will not submit his resignation. He's been president of the 25-campus university system since 2022. A Summerfest shakeup ahead of this year's Festival. Megadeth is pulling out of performing at Miller Lite Oasis stage on the 4th of July due to an unforeseen scheduling conflict. Slayer guitarist Kerry King will perform in Megadeth's place. Summerfest returns to the Milwaukee Lakefront beginning June 18th. Devil's Lake State Park is expanding. Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources has finalized a deal to add 100 acres of protected land to the park. Right now, through the Knowles Nelson Stewardship Program, the DNR has officially acquired the land and will open it to the public. State officials say the expansion will provide even more access to scenic views, hiking trails, and outdoor recreation. Devil's Lake remains Wisconsin's most popular state park, drawing nearly 2.3 million visitors in 2025. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. No market update today. Markets are closed for Good Friday. Trading resumes on Monday. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We have a crash that is blocking two left lanes. I-41 south at the ramp from Beloit Road. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Mostly cloudy today with a chance of afternoon and evening showers and storms. A high of 50 and those storms lingering into the overnight hours. Overnight low 37. Rain likely tomorrow morning with a high Saturday of 56. Mostly cloudy Sunday, Easter Sunday, a high of 50. Slight chance of showers Monday with a high 47. And sunny on Tuesday, a high of 40. 41 in Madison, 40 in Green Bay, and 43 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:33.
Burkhardt Sporting Goods in New Berlin is the baseball lover's destination. With a massive state-of-the-art indoor training facility featuring hit tracks with precision analytics, a huge open turf area, and all the best training equipment you need. So get in here and get ready to get better. And we'll help you with this special offer. Buy 20 batting cage credits for $30. That's 25% off. This is Brian Burkhardt, and if you love baseball and softball like we do, you can't beat Burkhardt. 153rd and National. If you plan on draining buzzer beaters, the place to start is Burkhardt, where you'll find a great selection of residential basketball hoops from the best brand, Gorilla. We'll handle the installation and take care of everything to make it easy from start to finish. And right now, when you buy from Burkhardt, standard hoop installation is half price. You can't beat that. This is Brian Burkhardt, and when you love basketball like we do, you can't beat Burkhardt.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
The only place to get this.
Playoff push for the Bucks is officially over. For the first time in 10 years, as Milwaukee will not qualify.
With some of this.
10 years, they've been a playoff team. And for the first half of that 10-year period, they were one of the elite teams in the Eastern Conference. And you saw that slowly start to chip away.
Get it all on Bucks Talk, your all-encompassing Milwaukee Bucks postgame show. Only heard here on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
You were listening yesterday, Kristen was off, but she was not just hanging around wearing like torn jeans and raggedy sweatshirts. You were actually doing something.
Yeah. So and it was funny because it's a lesson. Well, it's two lessons.
I saw the video. Yes, it's a good lesson.
It's a good lesson to say yes to things. But I also, after I posted that video saying like, oh, this is your sign to say yes. This is also as someone who is trying to say no to more things.
Don't say yes all the time.
But
sometimes.
I got randomly, maybe it wasn't random. I got an invite to an invite only. They were calling it a workshop, and it was on the tail end of the O&A, which is an online news association annual meeting that was happening in Chicago. And this was pegged as a workshop for newsrooms and creators and how you amplify local news. And there's an inherent tension, I think, still that I first I've always kind of known, but I know this popped up a lot during the DNC where I got to go as a creator, and there was a lot of consternation between traditional journalists and creators and the journalistic integrity that happens in newsrooms versus creators who are more beholden to the algorithm and trends and getting things out and their audience. And so it was put on by URL Collective and the Joyce Foundation. And I didn't know what to expect because I got this email, you're invited to this thing. It is a cross section of what I do, right? Like I work for legacy news stations, this one and Journal Sentinel, but I got those jobs because I was a content creator first. And, as of Wednesday morning, I still was like, should I go? I don't know. I don't really know what this is going to be. And I ended up, thanks to my husband, you don't always say that they're right, but he was right. This is back to your point as far as having a good partner who makes you better. He was like, just go. And I did. And I'm so thankful that I went. And it was an opportunity to meet new people, meet people that I probably wouldn't have met otherwise, get introduced to some of the innovative things that both content creators are doing, different independent nonprofit newsrooms are doing, being involved in conversation that like everyone is still trying to figure this out because media is in such flux of no one has necessarily figured it out and everyone is working on revenue models and grabbing audience and keeping audience and trying to find a younger audience as things continuously move. And so it was just and I'm so thankful to have jobs where I have that flexibility where I can just go and you can handle the show and it's fine. And it's also, great to be that within driving distance of Chicago. But it brought up a lot of questions around trust. And I'm debating whether we should make this our survey question for the newsletter this weekend as far as how do you decide, and this is to our audience, how do you decide who you trust when it comes to getting your news? Because we know, polling says, trust in legacy media, mainstream media, whatever you want to call it, is as low as it's ever been. And so people are finding trust more in some of these content creators and personalities. And even though there is less journalistic integrity that a lot of these people follow, I'm not saying that like they're blatantly lying, but they're not always beholden to fact check the same way that traditional newsrooms are. And it was just a really interesting question as far as like, how do we choose in this fragmented, overwhelming media landscape who you actually trust? Is it personality? Is it having a variety of different voices you're listening to?
Could be validation.
Do you want takes more than you want just facts? How good are you at telling the difference between the two? And it was a lot of that like philosophical discussion yesterday. And so how do you like find that as far as, do you feel like you want to hear your news from a certain type of voice?
I'm pretty diverse. I listen to everything from public TV and social media, people who are content creators, traditional news sources still read newspapers online. So I kind of mix it all up, and maybe that's because of what I do. But I have friends who ignore all of it, and they get their news from word of mouth, conspiracy.
They're probably happier people.
I don't know about that.
Oh, really?
I would describe that as jaded, but I think if you were to ask me that question, how people are making those choices right now in this hyper-political world, they're looking at their sources as validators of what they already think.
So cognitive, like confirmation bias.
Yes, exactly. Which traditionally has not been journalism, but unless you're in a cave, journalism is changing. Now, I have a strong opinion about that, but I'm also not an idiot. It is changing. And if no one's consuming the old way we did journalism, you better figure out a way to do it in a different, better way. Otherwise, you're not going to survive. So that's a reality. You could have the best newspaper in the world. No one buys a newspaper. You're going to cease publication. What does that accomplish? Nothing.
Well, it's similar issues, right? It's like the dessert versus vegetables when it comes to content. Like, are we giving people what they need to know? And we are dictating that we think is important news, even if it's more boring or more policy heavy versus, the sexier, more salacious, like clickbaity thing. And I think newsrooms deal with that a lot. I think content creators deal with that a lot as far as this balance between what you think will perform well and giving people what the analytics tell you versus actual real stories and real information that you think is vital for a well-informed electorate, right? And so like a lot of those things are popping up. And so it was just really fascinating, but I think it's also incorporating audience and what they actually want in order to give them that.
All that being said, what are you bringing to the show from all that wisdom you just picked up?
I mean, I think I'm gonna have to get you on TikTok more.
I'm not going on TikTok. That's not.
But no, I think that's part of it. As far as we have a growing audience for our podcast, we have a growing audience for I think who tries to listen to us live. Obviously, people can catch us on the YouTube, but as we have our newsletter, and so I think it's continuing to diversify. And some of it is, I think, making content that is social media first instead of just clips from the show. And
obviously, we're biased, but there's a reason why we're the most listened to show on WTMJ, and there's a reason why people respect our newsroom.
Yeah. And I think that is part of it, right? I think there's a lot of people, I think local newsrooms are still considered separate from like mainstream big national news organizations. Like I think most people, maybe our audience will tell us differently, trust WTMJ in a different way than like the New York Times because we are local and there's still a lot to be said as far focusing on local stories, local news, knowing the people in your community who are giving you the news that's different than ABC or CNN.
Yeah,
or
and the other
whatever,
big thing is why we have featured cast members because they bring wisdom that we don't have.
And personality.
We got tons of personality.
Dripping with personality.
Sometimes way too much. All right, she's Chris and I'm Steve. Quick break. After the break, the Weekend Review, sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Look, it's Jake from our store in Kenosha.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick.
Your email said you had a big surprise.
Look and tell me what you see.
Wow, I see 9 perfect examples of the classic diamond solitaire engagement ring.
They're gorgeous.
These rings are exactly what people imagine when they hear the words engagement ring.
Monica, do you think it will always be like that?
Evermore.
That long?
And each of these is 3/4 of a carat.
$998.
Unbelievable. So how much do we sell them for?
That is how much we sell them for.
Can we do that?
We're the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America, Rick. We can do anything we want.
But for how long?
Evermore.
People can choose any of the 9 most popular style solitaires, 3/4 of a carat, and each of them was created in the heart of a miniature star.
5 different diamond shapes, 2 colors of gold. Evermore, just $998.
Or $1498 with a 1-carat diamond center with diamonds on the side.
Learn more at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hi, it's David Nason from The Fix-It Show on WTMJ. Every Saturday morning, we talk about keeping your home in top shape. One issue I hear all the time, wet basements and foundation problems.
And that's where Accurate Basement Repair comes in. I'm Chris Mancuso, and for over 20 years, we've been The Fix-It Show's trusted experts in foundation repair and waterproofing.
Don't wait until the problem gets worse. Visit AccurateBasementRepair.com.
Accurate Basement Repair.
We're not just good, we're accurate. Catch Accurate Basement Repair on The Fix-It Show and WTMJ.com.
When it's time to explore assisted living, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. That's why we partnered with the American Seniors Housing Association to promote whereyouLiveMatters.org. I'm Mike from the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association. For over 30 years, our organization of more than 2,000 facility members has led through advocacy, education, and support to help advance quality care. That's why Wisconsin families trust WALA. When it's time to search for assisted living for yourself or a loved one, visit whereyouLiveMatters.org.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert here with my son David, Accunet's president and maestro of metaphor. What do you have for us today?
Dad, buying a home is a lot like having a baby. And it turns out that in today's extra competitive market, getting real estate pregnant with your offer accepted is the hardest part. So along with your agent, your Accunet loan consultant will do everything possible to get your real estate bun in the oven.
Yep, we can definitely help buyers make their offers more competitive. Okay, so once you've made the real estate baby, so to speak, what else do buyers and their agents want?
As a son, now this is getting gross and I regret the metaphor. But the next thing everyone wants are regular checkups and an on-time delivery. That's where Accunet really shines, with proactive weekly updates to reassure the sometimes nervous homeowners-to-be that everything's okay and on track.
It all starts with a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval, and our home buying clinic is always open. Just click on the blue button at Accunet.com to get started. That's ACCUNET.com.
prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests. That's WTMJ.com/contests.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Cocked your head to the sides.
All right, teams take over malls. That's not a good thing. The crew hits hard on the diamond. That is a good thing. We go back to the moon. That is the best thing. And more. It's the Weekend Review brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
For the first time in 10 years, as Milwaukee will not qualify for the postseason on the heels of another lopsided loss this afternoon here at Fiserv Forum.
The next day.
Yelich, a high drive, deep right, down the line, fair, and gone! And the Brewers have come all the way back in the 8th inning.
Weekend chaos at the mall.
Hundreds of teens showed up and several fights broke out.
The video of forceful arrests never looks good. Nobody wants to see that, but we know what works.
Has the time come, Steve, when it comes to social media and a long public reckoning? I totally believe that technology is ruining our brains.
That kangaroo on the loose in Juneau County, he's been found.
Oh my God. We were basically hunting by foot, like a needle in a haystack, for a kangaroo of 40 pounds in the woods.
And Derek Shelton's been thrown out. He's arguing with the robots. You can't defeat the robots.
I've been shocked at how into the ABS challenges the crowd is.
Yeah.
Is there a Brewers team group chat?
I think most of the player-to-player you don't want to know, Murph. Probably don't need me to tell you that, right?
But here it is. The return to glory.
Nope. Tiger Woods was looking down at his phone and changing the radio station before a rollover crash in Florida last week. Woods was charged with DUI, refusing a lawful test.
Congressman Tom Tiffany.
It's now part of your gubernatorial platform to end vehicle emissions testing.
It's time for this antiquated program to go away.
Everybody moves up 90 feet, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. Chopper, right side. It's going to sneak through and into right field. A two-run single from the captain, Christian Yelich.
To the moon?
To the moon.
To the moon!
Sure.
The moon!
And liftoff. The crew of Artemis II now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
It's been sort of a tradition ahead of Easter for the Catholic Archbishop of Milwaukee to offer Easter blessings. He showed up this week with a dozen boxes of Peeps.
And I'm the purveyor of Peeps. I did not know that God had made so many different forms of Peeps.
This is a special report from ABC News. Pam Bondi has been ousted as Attorney General.
Sources say the president had grown increasingly frustrated that the Justice Department wasn't doing enough to target his political opponents.
Prominent voice in Milwaukee's Muslim community this afternoon in ICE custody.
People like him are people that we need to celebrate in our community. Appreciate everything they sacrificed in their life, not being taken away and kidnapped.
We have a WTMJ storm team alert. The National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for Jefferson County.
Watch has fewer letters than the word warning in it.
More letters, more of a problem.
Thank you for your patience and that of the candidates for sticking with us.
We need a judge who loves the law, not a judge who loves their causes or their beliefs or their agendas.
Judge Lazar is the only person in this race who has brought an extreme right-wing political agenda to the bench.
What a week, eh? What a week.
Rabbit. Seems like someone who'd take a hammer to the face.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
Weekend Review sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. We'll take a quick break here. Our final break of this amazing 2 hours that you spend with us every Friday.
Amazing.
Quick break.
Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. As the days get longer and Wisconsin weather shifts, it's a good time to check your home's comfort. If your house felt drafty this winter, it may be time for an upgrade. Hometown offers energy-efficient windows and doors from Bella, Marvin, Anderson, and more. All on display in their New Berlin showroom, all installed by Hometown employee carpenters. Wood, vinyl, or Fibrex, they have options for every budget. Call my friends today at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
In 2027, the world's most iconic landscapes are yours to explore with Fox Group Vacations and Globus. Imagine the lush tropical beauty of Hawaii, the breathtaking peaks of the Swiss Alps by rail, or the rugged wonder of the Australian outback. With expert-led itineraries and a community of fellow travelers, we handle every detail so you can simply enjoy the view. Your next great adventure awaits. Call 866-GO-FOXGO or visit foxworldtravel.com today.
If you've ever worried about your heart, if you've ever loved someone with heart disease, if you've ever wondered if you're the one at risk, let's remind ourselves that we are not powerless. Because at the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're pushing to outsmart heart and vascular disease by working with you personally to understand your history, assess your risks, and guide you to heart strength. By digging deep with tireless research and offering access to leading-edge clinical trials. And for the most serious conditions, including heart failure, heart valve disease, arrhythmias, and vascular diseases, we provide renowned expertise and the most advanced life-saving procedures you expect from academic medicine. So let's get out in front of heart disease. Let's outsmart it. Let's keep pushing so that every one of us can outrun it and embrace every beautiful day life in Wisconsin has to offer. To learn more about our nationally renowned heart and vascular care, visit froedtert.com/heart.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
Hey, take your family to the Good Friday Fish Fry and the magnificent Easter Sunday brunch at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club. It's all you care to eat. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat free. Free for the Easter brunch. Google, call, reserve at the Fox and Hounds today.
Tune in to Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Another teen takeover in the Milwaukee area. Police responding to multiple fights between dozens of teenagers and reports of gunfire. It comes after at least a dozen were arrested during a teen takeover at Bayshore Mall. Police say multiple social media posts prompted both takeovers.
Every weekday from noon until 3 p.m.
Residential customers could see their 6th rate increase on electric bills since 2020 under a rate hike proposal from We Energies.
Only on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Q1 in the books.
Yeah.
3 months already into this year.
Yeah.
A lot happened.
I would say it's been a busy year so far.
I mean, Minneapolis and all that stuff feels like a long time ago, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, but on to Q2. On to warmer weather.
I took a listener trip already.
You've taken like 3 trips already, and you're about to go to Vegas again.
I am.
You've been to Egypt and back.
I have. 2-day trip to Egypt.
But yes, warmer weather coming. What's on? What's new this week? Scaffediology or WTMJ Outdoors?
Outdoors is always new.
Outdoors is always new.
Scaffediology will be new next week.
Okay.
And we've got a couple of different things we're working on, so it's to be determined.
Okay. You got some tomato talk on Outdoors?
Yes. My friend Tim Tehan from my great provider of all my plants, Tehan Nursery on Rousen Avenue in Oak Creek, joined me for an extended interview. I went out to their place.
Oh.
I was surrounded by, he drops the number. It's like 100,000 plants. It's like insane how many, and they're all already beautiful, and they still have, they're not even open for another like 3.5 weeks.
Do they open before or after Mother's Day?
Whatever Mother's Day is, it's May. I think May 1st is their opening day.
Okay, so before.
Weekend,
May 10th, I think, is Mother's Day this year.
Doesn't it move around? Yeah, it moves around.
It's always the second Sunday of May.
I thought, is it the second?
Well, if May 1st and it's May 10th.
Yeah, because the second Sunday is Mother's Day because the third Saturday or third Sunday is Father's Day in June.
There you go.
Yeah,
all right.
Second, third.
All right, so we got that coming up. Like we said, we have Looks Maxine Overtime podcast.
Walk everybody through because we sort of shifted our content from you need to listen.
So here's the thing with you need to listen. So when last year, over a year ago, January 2025, when Steve and I started You Need to Listen, it was before we knew we were going to have a show together.
Correct.
And we just wanted to do something together. So we started a podcast. And then 3 months into that podcast, they're like, hey, guess what? You two are going to have a show together. That's how good you are one-on-one.
It's almost a direct quote.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so then we were doing a daily show together, but then also doing a somewhat similar but differently named podcast. And so finally I was like, I feel like this is 2 different brands that we're trying to build. So let's just bring You Need to Listen into Point Taken. But then we kind of dropped the ball because we stopped doing it. But now we're going to start doing it once a week, overtime, topic where we just rip for 10 to 20 minutes into something that's maybe more cultural, less politics. And this week we're doing looks maxing, which I think we've talked about a couple times, but if you're just tuning in, is basically a new phenomenon among some young men who are maximizing their looks and going to quite the extreme. And we talk about it. So that's going to be in the newsletter.
It's a fun listen.
It's a fun listen. Newsletter extra. Text it to 855-616-1620 if you're not already subscribed. And we will be back on Monday. News is next.
What if your screens could disappear until you needed them? Meet Palla's 250 series vinyl windows with the accordion hidden screen. Designed